What did things look like in the post 9/11 era? Like, take us through a little bit of the growing up years. You're now in elementary school. You go through middle school and high school. Just give us a
Yeah.
little bit of that.
I mean, it was mainly trying to live a relatively normal childhood, right? It's no surprise that we had a label. I mentioned that other family, that kid, he was 23 years old when he died 9/11. His name was Matt Salito. I'm saying his name so it's not forgotten. And besides him and my dad, there was no other people from my town. So we went to my middle school, and as I mentioned earlier, it was a small school. So to me, I just felt like there was always this label associated with me and my brothers, and anywhere we went, because we were called the children of 9/11. And so I just felt like I struggled immensely with that label because I felt like I'd never be anything more than just that. And so, and this was kind of, I don't want to say proven, but it was validated in many ways over the years. Like as I got a little bit older, I was on the Oprah Winfrey show. The title of the show was called The Children of 9/11, right? And so how do you expect a kid to grow up and not have everything in their lives associated with that fate, just that one day? There's 364 days for the rest of the year. That one day defined everything for me. So I tried my best and I strived to be a normal kid, but I struggled to do that. I had no problem fitting in. I had friends, I played sports, I was a popular kid. I didn't, that was not a problem.
But that
I
label was
struggled.
always on your back.
Label was on my back, and deep down, I was this hurt little boy who just wanted to be seen.
And you wanted your daddy too.
That too. I mean, growing up without a father at that young of an age it could really mess a kid up, and it did for me.
When I was a kid, and I remember I had a friend who lost his father when we were in elementary school, and he was the kid whose father died. He didn't have a father, and everybody else had a father, and that was a label and this person ended up being my law partner, and still to this day, close friend. His two kids' weddings. I was just at one of his kids' weddings in August. But he was the kid who lost his father when we were in sixth grade. And I can imagine that kind of label was kind of a soft label. It was like embroidered in your back. It wasn't just written.
It was, yeah, exactly. And when you grow up in a small town like that too, where you're the only ones, I think there was just I felt pitied when I didn't want to be pitied. I felt at times judged when I didn't want to be judged. And really at the end of the day, like I just wanted to be a normal kid. Right. And not, I didn't want people to be friends with me because my dad died 9/11. All right. I didn't want people to not be mean to me because my dad died on 9/11, right? Remember, we went to a church, one of the anniversaries, probably, I think I was in like 6th or 7th grade. It wasn't at my church. It was at the neighboring church. And the way that church was, the design inside was there was like a lot of pews on the upper level. And I remember looking back, and there was like a row of girls from my school, and they're all just staring at me during this memorial mass. And that to me was like, that's how I can remember those middle school years, was that moment.